Ashley, Scrapping Nerd, and I'm back today with a layout for Scraplift Crafternoon. It's where a bunch of my crafty peeps and we get together and we scraplift an amazing layout from an amazing creator. And today we are scraplifting Debbie, and you saw her layout at the top of the video. And this is my Tuesday edition of Scraplift Crafternoon because I did not get my video edited, but the inspiration came from Debbie, so I wanted to make sure that I still got my video up for the week. And so I pulled in my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit, where I used all of my 49 and Market bits and bobs that I had. And in her layout, she has like a large heart that has some stitching around it. It's beautiful. But I decided to do a circle because in my kit share video, if you've watched it, I have these leaves from the spice collection, and I bought 2 of them. Who knows why? And so I have an abundance amount, and I was like, I need to make a wreath with it. And so I'm kind of doing a wreath, and her layout gave me the inspiration to have the circle be popped up as opposed to just doing like a wreath with the leaves. And so I used just a paper plate, and I cut a circle from this orange paper that I had, which is probably from the spice collection. It was just a scrap, but it was just big enough for these photos and for what I was wanting to do. And then the blue paper that I will use for my background is from the Toddler Time collection. But I did pull in some distress inks and a stencil, but I completely forgot about that, and so I don't use it on my layout here. But I also pulled in this fabric washi tape, and I've never worked with the fabric washi before, and it came in my mystery box, and so I actually really like it. It's really nice and thick washi tape, and I only wanted to put it on the top and the bottom of my photos, kind of like behind them, and so I just cut it in half. But it's beautiful. It's very vibrant colors, and I really like this. So, like I said, it's the first time I've ever used fabric washi. I am scrapbooking photos of my husband and I. We were in Grand Turk at the Margaritaville that's there, and they had this really colorful bird, and I just loved him. And so I made my husband take a picture of me with the bird, and then he wanted a picture of him, and he doesn't like birds. And so it just makes me laugh because he's strangling the Margaritaville bird. But anyways, that's why I love these photos. And the bird is so colorful, and so I definitely had to do a colorful layout. And I wanted to mat the photos in a white border just so that they stood out against all the color that I'll be putting on this layout. And I just used some scrap pieces that had white on the back to use as a photo mat. And I distressed the orange circle because I cut it out. Anytime I cut a circle and I don't use the Cricut or a die to cut it, I always distress it because I don't think I cut my circles clean enough. And so I got that distressed, and I am going to use these rub-ons from 49 and Market that are like stitching. And like I said, in her layout, she had stitching around the heart, and immediately I thought about these rub-ons and remembered I had them, which is why I wanted to use this kit. And then because it's so colorful, I was like, oh, let's scrap the colorful bird photos. So really, it's Debbie's inspiration layout that got me along this whole train of thought and using up this kit and scrapping these photos and using her amazing layout as inspiration. So again, that's why I'm late posting my video, but it still was completely inspired by her. So I wanted to make sure I got it up because I love how it turned out. And so I'm just using these stitching rub-ons, and I'm putting them kind of on the, I don't know, four corners of a circle? But you know, the top and bottom and the 2 sides of the circle. And I like how that turned out. It just adds an extra something to the circle before I start with all of the leaves. And like I said, I will use foam and pop up the circle so that it's kind of up off the back paper, so that when I put all my leaves around, it just adds some dimension. And then I can add some pop dots behind some of the leaves so that some of the leaves have inspiration, have dimension to them. And so here's where I'm cutting my foam to go behind my circle here. And I'm not going to make you watch me cover this whole circle with foam. So I will edit that part out. And like magic, I got the whole circle covered. And I will start with just sticking down the center of the circle. And then that way I can stick my leaves behind there. And then when I glue the edges of the circle, it'll also help to kind of glue down my leaves. And so here's where I just start pulling in the leaves from the spice collection, and I will use a piece of foam and a stylus to just kind of go down the veins of the leaves and give them some texture, and they'll kind of fold up and add just some extra dimension to it. I always do this with my leaves or my florals. I just think that it helps so that they're not laying so flat on the layout. And I'm not going to make you watch me put all of these leaves behind the circle, because it would be like an hour-long video, and all I'm doing is sticking the leaves behind there and adding some dimension to some of them once I get the back layer. Make sure that you guys go and you check out all of my crafty peeps that scrap lifted Debbie on Sunday, because they did some amazing layouts as usual. All the information is below in the description box. There's also a playlist, so you can just sit back and hit the button and watch all the beautiful layouts come to life. And then make sure that you also give some love to Debbie. Go and visit all of her social media links, which are in the description box below. And she does amazing layouts. So that's a fun one to go see and give her love and likes. I also want to say thank you to everyone who has liked and subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit those buttons below. I would love to have you. And feel free to leave comments. And I love interacting with you guys, and I will get back to you. And see, I finally, like, poof, all those leaves were there. But you know, if you've been around my channel, that I moved those leaves around 10,000 times, which is why I have to edit my videos, because it would be like 5 hours of me just moving leaves. But I pulled in from the Sunburst laser elements, the little sign says good times. I pulled in a pineapple and some seashells and just created a nice little cluster on the bottom left of that photo. And then there was like a net, so I cut it in half and put it on either side of each of the photos. And I will put some of these like flowers in there, just filling in some little bits and bobs, you know how I like to do. And these yellow flowers were just so pretty. I was like, nope, they have to go on here. And I put one in the pineapple as well. And then I decided to put a butterfly on the top right of the photo, which you'll see in a minute there. But that's pretty much gonna be the layout. There's not much more that I do. I gotta make sure all of these leaves and everything are stuck down, and so they don't fall out. But again, I really love that fabric washi. But thanks everyone for watching, and I hope everyone has a great day. Bye.